Hi everybody, and welcome to another video from Space Oil Guitars. Now this isn't guitar building, this is more sort of impressions on the Quad Cortex video. So for those wanting to see guitar building, then this video isn't for you. First, I only got this a week ago today, yeah. So I haven't been able to play around with it too much. Haven't used it in rehearsal yet. I haven't used it live. It was only Saturday last week that Norway opened up from Corona restrictions, so there hasn't been a lot of faffing about lately. I've read online that this is often compared to the Kemper, which I feel is both unfair to this unit and unfair to the Kemper, and I'll go into that. First of all, what do I think of it? Well, let's go into some of the factory libraries. Let's go with the first one. See if I can get some sound in my monitors. I mean, it sounds awesome. It really does. However, I'm a bit confused about the captures that this have, and comparing those to the emulations. So basically what it has is an emulation block, which is this one, and a neural capture block, which is this one. Now in this preset, for example, you have the neural capture, which is there. That's just the classic overdrive pedal, MX, which would be the Maxon Classic Overdrive 4. And the emulation is a guitar amp. So an emulation is what Fractal Audio uses, and captures is the Quad Cortex version of a Kemper profile, meaning it sends out a bunch of weird signals, and in return it's able to capture the audible fingerprint of the device it's capturing. So are these the ones that are stock on these amps? Are those emulations or captures? And these captures, these are mine, factory captures. Why aren't those in the other block along with these? So that's the thing I'm sort of wondering about. Also the cabs, the IRs. I'm not super convinced, but I'm not really going to go into that. So let's see, that I changed it. Another thing. So here in this preset, emulations that are in the emulations block, which is this one. As you can see in this preset, there's no capture block. You have special amp features, such as a bright switch. I guess you'll see it more in the Freeman. You have all these switches that are on the actual amp are here, and this is a factory preset. Whereas if you go to factory captures, say this is a Mesa Boogie JP. All you have are these settings. So if this is a factory capture rather than a factory emulation, then why can't this be thrown in with the factory presets, factory emulations, and have, you know, in this, especially for Mesa Boogie, a lot of that sound sculpting is done with that EQ. So why hasn't that been thrown in then? So stuff like that sort of annoys me a little. I'm sure that in time that'll be rectified somehow. But for now, that's sort of a big talking point for me, is that there are some issues with this that will have to be resolved, and I'm sure it will be. I'm sure it will be in time. Effects wise, it's lacking in all respects compared to any other unit out there. If you're looking for crazy and amazing effects, this isn't the unit for you yet. The Kemper was also in a state where it was sort of known to be terrible at effects, but super great at amps. And at some point, people used the Kemper for amps, and they used fractal audio equipment for effects. So they chose to have two units, rather expensive units, rather than just relying on one. And I'm sure this'll come as well, but they needed to get this out because it was so hyped, and also they needed to get money in to keep developing. So it's a bit premature at this moment, but I don't think people would have wanted to wait any longer. I sure wouldn't. I love new tech and I love this, but I'm not going to be selling my Kemper anytime soon. Just to give you an example of that, these are all the reverbs. This is it. Sort of spring, and well, you have ambience, cave hole, mind hole, as same as hole, modulated, plate lush, plate tight. Those are all plates, so that's one. Room, shimmer, spring, and spring mono. Spring mono is also spring, so although they sort of expanded the category and made 3 plates, a plate is still a plate, so that's one type. You don't have these huge, wonderful reverbs that the Kemper now has. I'm using Kemper to compare to because that's my other unit. I don't have any fractal audio equipment at this time. I've sold all mine off. Delays, same. These are all the delays. There's no scrolling here. What you see here is what you get. These are all the delays. So there are 6, 8, 7, I say. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But there's really 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 different types of delay. And there's no sort of ducking. So you have to be sort of, well, 4 types of delays. That's a little short for a device like this. Overdrives, we have, I mean, this bog standard, nothing really exciting. The Myth drive is supposed to be the clone, I guess, but I mean, you don't really use the clone, do you? Bass, I haven't seen this, microtubes. So, yeah. Compressors are really good on this. There's not a lot of settings, but they sound really nice. All this other stuff I haven't really played around with. Modulation, they have the standard stuff, but there are some settings that are lacking in settings. But then again, so was the Kemper. The Kemper was terrible at modulation effects. Well, I haven't tried this yet, but there are only two types for guitar. I'm guessing the Crybaby will be in there at some point. Yeah, that's it. Captures are, they're good. They've made it very easy. You go on your phone and select what you want, and then you go into this and sort of just download whatever you've chosen. There's no preview yet, but it's easy enough and it's quick enough to try, and then if you don't like it, just delete it straight away. There's no, a lot of, it's not, waiting times aren't really existing on this. You can feel it's powerful. Same when you're sort of messing around on screen here, there's no lag time. Everything happens straight away, but you have to hit it at the right moment. If you sort of, see if I'm trying to hit the modulation block there, and I'm not hitting it, there's something else going on. It's not gonna try to figure out what you're trying to hit and then suggest turning on the modulation block. It's just gonna do something else, and I like that because see, if I was trying to hit the delay here and I was a little bit off, and instead of putting on sort of, for example, the reverb block, and I'd start altering the reverb block instead of the delay, which I wanted to alter, then that would be a problem for me anyway, because I'm sort of, if I get stressed out and I need to shorten down the delay, then I would just hit the delay, start turning knobs. And if I didn't hit the delay, but I hit here instead, then I'd know, okay, I'm off. But if it instead went to the reverb and I started tuning that, then I don't know, it would be a problem for me. I'm not sure you know what I mean, but what I'm trying to say is that some touch screen devices will try to guess. If you're not hitting it exactly, it'll try to sort of guess what you're going for and bring that up, which this one doesn't do. Also, it's great for laying out effects. You can set up huge, let me see if I can find some of mine here. A huge, this is just a modified. Yeah, sort of this. You have 2 amps, 4 cabs. And you can hear some of the delays sound a bit digital. Maybe that's a reverb. But here you have delay going in and out. Anyway, you can do these huge setups and not have a problem with processing power or anything like that. But having said that, this is one of the comparisons I feel is unfair, because this is hardware wise, it's 10 years younger than the Kemper. So obviously processing technology is 10 years younger, but I have never experienced GPU sort of shortcoming, CPU shortcoming on the Kemper. Never. It's never been an issue. I've never seen a warning. I've never, run into a situation where I can't add an effect or I can't tweak anything else because of processing power. So either the Kemper is more powerful than it needed to be, or it's got superior coding in its software. And both may be the explanation to why I've never had that. Also, you cannot run more than 1 amp at a time on Kemper. But having said that, the amps on this aren't what's drawing processing power, it's the reverbs and the delays. Especially reverbs, they draw a lot of processing power. And on Kemper, I've had 3 or 4 reverbs in a row, and it's never been an issue. So I feel that in that comparison, this has got two. What's it got? 2 Quad Cortex. It's got 4 cores, 1 core for each of these lines, and they are they come in 2. So these 2 lines, top lines, are 2 halves of 1 core, and the 2 bottom ones are two halves of the second core. But I've never had that problem on Kemper. I used to have that problem a lot on fractal devices, but that was years ago. I haven't tried the newest ones. But just on the Kemper, it's never been an issue where it says you're not allowed to do this anymore. On this, it seems that you're not allowed to put more than 4 captures on any preset. So here we have 2. Let's try to add 1 more. Just add this. And add a capture, just add this. I'm just doing this for fuck's sake. And here we go. Okay, we can add more. So maybe it's the caps. Yeah, see here it sort of bottoms out. Not allowed to add any more. So let's just see what the CPU says about this. 57. So you can see they aren't really eating up that much space, but I'm not allowed to add any more. And back here, add some of mine. No, I can't add any more. So I guess 6 is the limit, and I'm just going to delete these. That's how easy it is to delete stuff. Super easy. Also, if you want to just move it, just drag and drop. It's really simple. So I'm not going to drag this on for too long because this video is getting sort of long and just me talking. But will I sell my Kemper over this? No. Will I send this back or sell it? No, I'm going to keep it because I believe that in, say, a year's time, this will really kick an ass. And also, it's got a mic preamp on it, so that I'm able to run our vocalists into this and just add a little juice, compression, and reverb, for example. And then that's it. We can run all this. I can run separate outs on that as well. I can run me in here out through the XLRs, vocals, and the input 2, and it's got phantom power as well. And then run her out through output 3 and 4. So this can be a 1 unit for a lot of stuff. So I'm looking forward to trying that out. Obviously, as I said, I haven't tried it in rehearsal yet, but it'll be fun. Maybe she won't have to use her processing unit because she has one of these. What's it called? The Boss stuff that can do vocal things. I'm going to try this as well. There aren't any vocal effects in on this, like auto-tuning or anything like that, but I'm sure that'll come in time as well, because obviously they've added a mic preamp on it, and unless it's exclusively for miking up guitar cabs or bass cabs, then they're gonna have to add some vocal effects on there as well. But anyway, that's it for me. Maybe this video will help you out in some way. If not, then sorry I wasted your time. But if you're looking to get this, it's a great unit, and yeah, I'm real happy with the purchase. So that's it for me. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.